covenant of Jehovah Elohim, the righteous heavens will look beyond our limitations and help us. Hallelujah. With a resounding clap offering, men and brethren, a resounding clap offering, I most humbly invite the living prophet of humanity and the general superintendent of the Holy Ghost World Mission Worldwide, Bishop K, Degaya, to come and do what he is an expert in doing. Hallelujah. Your Honor, you are most humbly invited.
Hallelujah. Open your mouth, give him praise in the beauty of his holiness. He's worthy. Thou art worthy, Almighty Creator, Alpha and Omega, beginning and the end. Let the word of your mouth, meditations of your heart be accepted. Yahweh Elohim, Yeshua, the Messiah, and everybody say, Amen. And everybody say, Amen. On behalf of the Council of Divinity that meets in the Parliament of the moment, I want to welcome you to his presence and the presence of your Creator. The presence of our Creator, the Alpha, the Omega, the Jehovah Sabaoth. And on behalf of the Council of Divinity, meets the Parliament of the moment, I want to welcome all the Holy Ghost saints all over the world. And the Holy Ghost are here present, and the Holy Ghost are here listening to me anywhere from any part of this world. Welcome to the month of determination good day, where the heaven of the righteous has helped you to escape pain and wastage. That you are in the month that ends the year 2023. That you are still alive of the now. You have been relieved and delivered from your pain and delivered from your wastage. And these blessings and blessedness that the heaven has carried out in your life for these 11 months and 3 days in the months of determination. Good day. This blessing shall remain in your life permanent. I have spoken it. Thank you very much. Sit down. I already know that you are being blessed from the time we started their revelations of the sixth dimensional, of the sixth dimension courses. The thing that makes the world to be like what you already know and witness. The thing that makes the situations around you, both in your personal life and family and extended family, that make things look as if you do not understand what is going on. When things that are happening in your life and it looks as you do not understand, just know what we have been talking about is the cause. And do not let anyone deceive you with a vain philosophy that what will be will be. What will be cannot be until somebody makes it to be. What has always been from the time Adam failed has been evil continually, devastation regularly, and confusion permanently in the midst of human beings. That is what have always been. He created the earth and he gave it to the Son of Man. That the man that's supposed to be an authority on earth, as it were, is now the greatest victim. And man is so distracted, while some men are seeking deliverance from this evil that have always been from the time Adam failed. The theory of the Gulf of Karma and the witches of Haras down to the witches of the waters are not powerful enough to stop man if man had not failed. it does not really matter. If they got to know about the creation, it does not also matter if they were there when everything was created. What matters was the authority bestowed on man that man lost. That is what matters. And the next thing that should matter is for man to find out how he's going to regain this lost authority. There was an attempt, the righteous heaven, to return man to the status quo, especially when salvation was arranged and the begotten Son was sent. Still, it seems that man did not get it. I should bring it to your notice that the suffering that man is being confronted with right now is not different from the suffering that happened the very day and the main moment Adam failed. Neither is it different from the suffering that Adam suffered when he was the first human being that mourned another human being. This time around, he mourned the first death, and he mourned the death of his first son. Not just that he mourned the death of his first son, he also mourned the losses of his second son that became something else on earth by name Cain. So, two losses suffered by Adam. Losses by losing his first son, the first human being that was born naturally according to the ability of creation, born by his mother. And I'm not sure Christians and men or human beings are looking at it from that point. That the tragedy of life is not just that Adam failed. There are so many bad things that started with Adam. He was the first human being that mourned. And he did not just mourn for another person, he mourned the death of another first human being that was born naturally by Eve. It will have been interesting to know how powerful Abel would have been if he was not killed. It is also very important to know why was the death of Abel not prevented? Since as at the time of the existence of Adam, Eve, Abel and Cain, there is very active spirituality, both divine spirituality and the negative spirituality. Divine spirituality and satanic principality, as you know. In other words, both positive spiritualities and negative spirituality were all already existing, as you know, as at the time these individuals were created. Adam was the first mourner, and Adam was the first that lost his son. And if I will say it clearly, Adam was the first that recorded a vagabond son. A vagabond son. As you can see, the losses of human beings on earth today is already a normal thing, as people are dying all the time. And most of these deaths are unnecessary and could be prevented if divine spirituality is active among men as it should be. This death could be prevented if divine spirituality is active among men as it should be. As we can also witness that man is still suffering losses. The losses that had been experienced by man through negative curiosity. Negative curiosity. And it is very important for you to understand. I don't really bother myself. I don't want to bother myself how important and the important thing science and scientific discovery is. I don't want to bother myself how important science is, or bother myself about the importance of scientific discoveries. It is very important for you, for me to make you know, no matter the advancements and the sensitivity of science and scientific things that have made it possible for so many things to be discovered, you cannot compare science and scientific thing with divine spirituality. Science and scientific things and scientific discoveries is minute beside divine spirituality. If I may put it in the way you will understand, that divine spirituality is the scientific know-how of the righteous heaven. I may say it correctly too. There is scientific know-how is the totality of either infinity final or blessed eternity. As you may also know, it is popularly known as scientific discovery. What that means is that science cannot discover what does not exist. What already exists by the Creator who already made them was what science now discovered. That means there is something higher than science that made any discovery. Science cannot be higher because it does not make sense for us to speculate that science is higher than what is discovered. Because what is discovered has been there, have always been there. And most time, science, they only approximate, as they are not able to get accurately the number of years so many things they discover have been existing. Every planet they have discovered there is, they only approximate the year the sun has been around, or approximate the year the moon has been around, and all of the planets, as you may have heard it in one of in our previous gospel, when we talk about the theory of karma and the first witches of Haras. And then, I'm sure, once you hear that, you already know what to think. It's like when you have not been exposed to divine spirituality, magic will be interesting. When you have not been exposed to divine spirituality, magic will be interesting. Magic in every category. When you have not been exposed to divine spirituality, scientific know-how, or at least scientific know-how, will be a big deal. And of course, you know, man is so porous. Any little thing that man is able to do that look extraordinary, make them naughty and proud. And many times, it makes them to push aside idea of the Creator. And that was why they say all about the Creator and or anything called Yahweh Elohim or Anything called God, as British put it, and Lord is an ideology. But it is also very interesting for you to know that the same science are curious to know who is behind the creation. Many times, science had said things in creations are well made and properly organized, and things happen at their own time. Things happen at their own time. And the planets are arranged in their own place. As the sun is different from the star, and the stars are different from the moon. Just as we have read in the Bible, you have season, you have time. And sequentially, things keep happening according to the order of creation. And science wonder. And one of the things that science is still wondering and curious about right now is the complexity of the making of man. In other words, how complex a human being, one human being, is. As you know, among the little things science have been able to gather on the human anatomy and the medical science, they have been able to use that to render some help. But because human beings that have been existing for billions of years, according to the approximations of science, up to now, science have not been able to discover completely this species called human being that have been existing for billions of years. Now, because science is not able to discover the complexity of man, as you may have noticed, science has resulted to AI, which you call artificial intelligence. As in, science is almost giving up in trying to discover the complexity of man. They now decide to make their own man. And they are also trying their best to make their own man to be complex. As in, this science-made man can do everything, if not more than what a natural human being can do. As you know, there was a time when science invented machine from mechanical to locomotives to electrical to electronics, now AI. I'm sure you remember, so some of you that are a little bit old, there was a time every machine must be mounted by a man. In other words, there was a time every machine made by any department of scientific discovery must be operated by a human being. Now, as science advances, as you know, cars are now driving themselves. Trains are now driving themselves. Aeroplanes are now flying by themselves. We even have unmanned weapon of war. Recently, there was a news in the CNN said that the citizens of South Korea are lamenting. Listen carefully, the citizens of South Korea are lamenting that machine is now taking over their job. That is to say, the work that is meant for human beings to do, machines are now doing them. Up to machine serving in the restaurant. And machine going to markets and buying food stuff. South Korea is a kind of country, and maybe China is a kind of country that when you are in the bus stop waiting for taxi, you may not know that the next person beside you is a machine. You may not know. Because this machine have all the features of human being and behave exactly like human being, including being courteous. You will not know that the person beside you is actually a charged battery. When his battery runs down, he falls down. And what we don't in the area of artificial intelligence, what we don't want to see, what many scientists don't want to see, is the misbehavior of robots. When robots decide to misbehave, may you not be there that day, because it's usually a disaster when the robots malfunction. As you may record, during the time of George Bush of the United States of America, International Academy of Science wrote a letter to the President of the United States of America requesting that they should be allowed to manufacture the first human being by the mixture of chemicals. This is not electronics right now. By mixture of chemicals. By people who are experts in chemistry and advanced chemistry. What George Bush said, and subsequently some other president of America, was that what they are asking him to approve is against morality. And therefore, either him or anybody in the United States of America should not even talk about it. And then he went ahead and said, how will it sound for people in the world to hear that human beings are now being manufactured in the factory like a Coca-Cola? That was exactly how he put it. And then that idea was laid to rest. Many of you that read Bible, you consider Daniel chapter 10, virtually the whole of Daniel chapter 10. There was something Prophet Daniel was told, that at the later day, men shall travel to and fro, and knowledge shall increase. And Daniel heard, and he said, I heard, and I understood not. And then he was told to seal it up in the book. Daniel, or Prophet Daniel that said that, died a long time ago. He's not alive in our own time. You can only witness what is available in your own time. Your great-grandchild, maybe you are 20 years right now, maybe you are not even married, or you are 15 years right now, or you are not married. By the time they haven't helped you and you advance in life, marry and then have children, and then you begin to have great-grandchild, you that is 20 years right now. During your own time, things on earth may have changed. Because by then, artificial intelligence must have taken over. And I'm sure you remember, there was a time before cell phone came, there is what is called 090. 090, it's like it's also a cell phone, but it's as big as a microphone with antenna. That time, it is people that are handy, who have money, that can afford it. And you can see that right now, human beings are so advanced that anybody can afford cell phone right now. And of course, as you know, even in the cell phone, there are categories. In the later day, Daniel chapter 10, men shall travel to and fro, and knowledge shall increase. To and fro, that means going to the moon, going to the galaxies, going to the space, which man has been, traveling around the world, and whatever you want to study in your life, and you want to be an expert in that field of study, you must travel. Because everything you want to know may not be in your locality. That is why, before anybody has a PhD, you must move around. If you will not move around at all, you must move around other universities for research. Move around libraries. And if it is science, you have to move around the world for research, so as to be an expert in the area of your discipline. So that prophecy of Daniel has come to pass before our very eye. And it's becoming so advanced. But I want you to understand why I had to explain all of this is no matter the complexity, because what I have explained so far should simply make you know that as it is now, everything about a human being is already complex. Everything about life is already complex. But I am telling you that you have not seen complexity yet. Complexity is still coming. Why I have to take my time to explain some of these things is to simply tell you, no matter the complexity of science and science discovery, as you can see now, that both science and science discovery is a learner beside divine spirituality. So if science knows and if science can discover, if science knows and science has made discovery, divine spirituality no more, and this divine spirituality can discover more things than science. So you can see, when divine spirituality is lost, the brain of a man go blank, waiting for any programming of any garbage. When man go blank, there's divine spirituality, he become helpless. That is it. Because you cannot be helpless when you are active in divine spirituality. To be active in divine spirituality is simply be a heavenly and eternally and then infinitive final scientist. By then, you will know more than the scientist. There is nothing science discover now that if I have my time, I will teach them more concerning what they have discovered. I will tell them more, and I will open their eye more. But you see, we are where we are because Christianity have not even started at all. And the end of ages is very close. That is the problem. There have been so much time wasting. And this time wasting has been consumed. The time of man has been consumed by ignorance. And one thing about creation is not waiting for anybody. The creation is folding up as it was assigned of it by the Creator. In creation, from the Creator himself down to the earth of man, as you have heard, everything is speeding. Everything is spinning. Everything is spinning. Everything is moving. It's only man that is sluggish. May I also bring it to your notice that you cannot be a human being and be proud the way some of you are proud now if nothing is moving in your body. It is because your heart is beating. It's because your heart has what is called pulse. That's why you are alive. When your heartbeat stops, you die. You are alive because your heart is pumping blood to every part of your body through your vein. And that commences from your conception till the very day you die. Your heart keep moving. Your heart keep moving. And then blood keep moving around all the millions of veins. As tiny, as minute you may think your brain is, because you don't even know what it is anyway, as tiny as you may think that the neurons that are everywhere in your brains are, if blood does not pass through them, you die. If by any means there is a blockage anywhere in your brain, it's either you are deaf or dumb or paralyzed or die, because your brain coordinates your heart. And your brain is able to coordinate your heart because something is working. No break. It does not go break. Does not go on break. When it goes on break, something dies in you. Everything is moving. Whether you like it or not, consciously or unconsciously, you are moving too. That is why you wake up in the morning, you want to go and look for daily bread. Even people that are lazy, they are moving. Because there is no lazy person that will not stand up and go to the toilet. There is no lazy person let me remind you again. It does not really matter how science and scientific things want to bamboozle you or bamboozle humanity. You cannot compare it with divine spirituality. Because divine spirituality is a mystery of the righteous heaven, is a mystery of the blessed eternity, is a mystery of the infinity final. And science cannot comprehend it, even in the next billions and billions and billions and billions and billions of years. And one thing about the Creator and creation, the more you discover it, the more it makes itself complex. That is just in nature. The more you think you have discovered it, the more it makes itself complex. Just like I said about the Creator, that scientists want to look for. And what is in their mind is very stupid. Science want to look for the Creator. If I tell you what is in your mind, you will see how stupid. I think I can call it stupid. maybe foolish at the same time. They want to lay hold on the Creator, put him in a very big glass, either in United Kingdom, they will be the first to collaborate, or a very big glass in America. So everybody will be flying from all over the world to come and watch God. That is what is in the mind of scientists. So you see how stupid a man is? But I have also told you, also telling the scientific community, the Creator I know, the closer you are to him, the farther he becomes. It's as simple as that. It is also the theory of physics. The higher you go, the cooler it becomes. The deeper you go, the hotter it becomes. And if you are a demented fellow who have ulterior motive against the Creator, not to discover him as a spiritual personality, but to discover him and put him in a very big glass in United Kingdom or in United States, the closer you are to him, the farther he is. So he makes you to be coming, you get old and die, your son will take over, you keep coming, you get old and die, their grandson will take over, coming, get old and die. When they know that it is not possible, they will come back. And simply come back to church. Let us teach them divine spirituality on how this Creator they are using machine to look for. And they want to put him in the big glass. Either in United Kingdom or in America. How we teach them how this same Creator can be closer to them than their heart in their body. Because this one, he said to you, as you seek me, you will find me. But he's telling scientists different thing. Because their own motive is wrong. So if you seek me, that is the language of divine spirituality. If you seek me, you will find me. And he now added and said, if you seek me with all your heart. So, that means if you seek him with all your heart, you are not hearing any other thing. You are not seeing any other thing. You are not imagining any other thing. Your heart is focused. And he said, if you seek me, you shall find me. When you seek me with all your heart. But if you want to seek him with rockets and AI, the closer you are, the farther he becomes. So you get that right. Men and brethren, let's proceed. Sixth dimension causes. The forces of the natural. Genesis chapter 1. I am going to read verse 24. It is only necessary that as you read everything, because that is talking about the sixth day of creation. That is talking about the sixth day of creation. And some other things. And then from Genesis 24 to Genesis 31. So from Genesis 24 to Genesis 31. Genesis 31 is the end of that chapter. Genesis 31 is the end of that chapter. And that is the sixth day, according to the compilations of the scriptures concerning creation. And then from Genesis 24 to Genesis 31, there are a lot of complexity, and one of the things that make life to be complex, which is also reachable, no matter how complex, and knowable under divine, under, maybe I should say it correctly, under scientific divine spirituality. Because when you say science, what comes to your mind is complexity. And I have been able to explain dimensional aspects of science. I know science is very broad, but I've been able to summarize so you will understand. But don't forget what I told you. And what I told you is this. No matter, and don't ever forget this as long as you are alive. No matter the complexity of science and scientific discovery, is never to be compared with divine spirituality. Never. You can't compare it. And I also made you to understand something that is very clear. You don't need a rocket science for you to understand this explanation. That what science claims is discovery. Science claims discovery. And I am now telling you, just as you have heard it from the mouth of scientists, it is called discovery. So I am now saying, if something does not exist, how will science discover it? Everything that science has discovered has always been existing. And as I told you also, that everything that has been existing, which science claims to discover, they cannot tell you specifically the year or the age of whatever they discover, but they will approximate it. They will say approximately 1 million years, approximately 2 million years. In the previous gospel, when we are talking about things that make some of you fear, when we are talking about the witches of the waters, and we have to dive into Mame waters and some of those, the 5 categories of the witches of the waters. That for me, that I see is the greatest evil that has ever happened to the earth. That the thing that men survive, that the men cannot survive without it, has been hijacked, has been taken over, has been possessed, which is water. And I say to you that is why it is very easy for a native doctor to catch you, because science says 70-80% of your body is water. The same thing applicable to your brain, the same thing applicable to your eye, the same thing applicable to your talking. And I said If there is no water in your mouth, if there is no saliva in your mouth, you cannot speak. Once your throat dry, you will choke. Until you sip some water. So, but what we say, the greatest tragedy that has happened to man is that an agent of darkness, through the witches of the water, by the witches of Haras, has taken over everything water. And don't also forget one thing I said. I say waters are connected. That is to say, if you get water from anywhere and put it in a glass cup, you see that water in a glass cup is connected to Atlantic Ocean. When you speak to that water with an extraordinary voice, you have addressed the Atlantic, you have addressed the Atlantic, you have addressed the ocean, you have addressed the floods, you have addressed the rivers. You have even addressed the pond where you put your fishes, because waters are connected. Why? Because in the atmosphere, water is there, but you can't see it. When you touch live wire and it shocks you, it's because there is water in your body. If you are dry, like a dry wood, electric will not shock you. That is why when somebody is electrocuted, what the experts use in bringing the person down is dry wood. So you take notice of that. That when somebody is electrocuted anywhere, anyhow, make sure you don't go and use your hand and hold the person, otherwise you will be electrocuted too. You look for a dry wood. Or somebody is electrocuted on the electric pole. It is only a dry wood that can be used to bring the person down. Because of the availability of water everywhere. Okay. Because we're going to be talking about, in this series, talking about the sixth dimension causes. And don't forget, this sixth dimension causes from number 1 to number 6, and we're talking about number 6 now, is what has made life complex. And the complexity of your life, I don't care how complex it is, it can be demystified under divine spirituality. As long as you want to listen. What science cannot do in your life, we can achieve it with divine spirituality. What a soothsayer cannot see, what a diviner cannot see, what witches cannot do, or what witches have done, and it is making your life miserable, we can demystify it under divine spirituality. Because divine spirituality is their senior. Say what I said. I want to believe All the Holy Ghost stands all over the world, and men and women of goodwill. They are listening and following. Because, as you know, I may not have time to repeat myself. I don't have that time. And if the devil so hates you, then you have to pray for the people that handle your media, not to destroy your future, but distorting the message. Because if it is distorted, either by there's no network, or they won't share carelessness, or lack of professionalism somewhere, you die. Because what I am saying, there is life in it. You hear it today, you think you have heard it, you have deceived yourself. You need to hear again, and again, and again. Faith comes by hearing, and hearing the word. Because to some of you, it is amazing what occupies your mind when you come to church. But it is important for me to redirect your mind that when you come to church, seek ye first the kingdom and his righteousness. All other things will be added. All other things, including miracles and signs and wonder. Genesis chapter 24, verse 24. Genesis chapter 1, verse 24 to 31. I am reading from the Holy Name Scripture. And Elohim said, let the earth, listen very carefully. And Elohim said, let the earth bring forth living creature after his kind, cattle and creeping things and beasts of the earth after his kind. And it was so. And the Elohim made the beasts of the earth after his kind, and the cattle after their kind, and everything that creeped upon the earth after his kind. And Elohim saw that it was good. And Elohim said, let us make man in our own image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over the cattle, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creeps upon the earth. So Elohim created man in his own image. And in the image of Elohim, created him. Male and female created he them, and Elohim blessed them. And Elohim said unto them, be fruitful and multiply and replenish the earth and subdue it and have dominion over the fish of the sea and the fowl of the air and over every living thing that move upon the earth. And Elohim said, behold, I have given to you every herb bearing seed which is upon the face of all the earth, and every tree in which is fruit of the tree yielding seed to you. It shall be for you meat, and to every beast of the earth, and to every fowl, of the air, to everything that creep upon the earth, wherein there is life. I have given every green herb for meat, and it was so. 31st, and the last one. And Elohim saw everything that he had made. Behold, it was very good. And the evening and the morning was the 6th day. Now, as you can see, the 6th day of creation, which is like the conclusion of creation. But it is very important for you to know that the conclusion of creation was actually the 7th day. I'm not talking about the usual 7 days that people try to make or bring religion out of it. And as we continue in this series, you will understand why I mentioned that, about especially the 7th day. Between Genesis chapter 1, verse 24, and 31, there are a lot of complexity in it. That was why it was a little bit long. As long as almost like the 5th day of creation. I mentioned something before. I said 6-dimension classes. And I'm sure you already know what that means. That everything that I had just read in Genesis chapter 1, verse 24 to 31, that the witches of Aras, or what science can call the theory of karma in the outer space. And I have just told you that by what we know so far in creation, the witches community, they are actually the first religious body in creation. And I had been able to describe to you where they used to meet. I also remember that I said deliverance or deliverance minister, call it any name, call it intercession, call it liberation of anything. If the witches of Haras was not known and addressed, either by knowledge or by revelation you have just waste your time. That is why people go from church to church looking for deliverance, and they never see deliverance. Because the people that deliver them, they don't know anything. And I don't blame them. Everybody can only function according to their limitation. You meet a pastor for prayer, he pray for you according to his limitation. So, if nothing happens, just know that something is wrong somewhere. Is that you are not doing what you are supposed to do? Or the pastor is not doing what he's supposed to do, so as to address your matter straight. Because anything spiritual, my friends, anything spiritual is very complex. If you don't know anything about it, look for help. Don't just go into it when you don't know. Because if you do what you don't know will happen to you. Because the realm of the spiritual is very complex. And it is full of identities. I repeat, the realm of the spiritual is very complex and it is full of identities. That is to say, for you to enter and venture into the realm of the spiritual, whether positive spirituality or negative spirituality, either divine spirituality or satanic spirituality, is full of identity. And I'm sure you have not forgotten my definition about spiritualities. I say there are diversities of spiritualities, but one divinity. In other words, too many spiritual things, but only one thing is divinely designed. That only one thing is divinely good. If I will say it clearly, diversity of spiritualities. So only one thing, only one good thing that exists. And that good thing, which is the revelations of the Creator, if you have not discovered it, you suffer. Every other thing you are going to be doing and look for, you suffer. You suffer, get old, and die. What I see people looking for from pillar to post, and they are not getting anything, is diversities of spirituality, but they are not able to locate one good thing, one good spirituality that exists. This one good spirituality is not plenty, it's just one. I say to you that what makes Satan look very difficult to handle and or satanic things. Even when Satan was Lucifer, and I have been able to explain to you the functionalities of angels. And don't forget, also remember, what you now call Satan today was once an archangel. An archangel simply means head of angel. An archangel is heading a department of angels. That's what that means. Archangel has some other angels under him. So as you know, according to the Revelation, when there was war in heaven and Archangel Michael fought, or Lucifer fought, Archangel Michael fought back. And when they was cast down, they were cast down with some of the angel. That Archangel Lucifer was cast down with some of the angels. So when he was cast down, he was not alone. You get that? But I also told you that we are here today, even ignorant churches and religion and ignorant people, they are still alive today, abusing Satan anyhow or abusing Lucifer anyhow. Is because the Creator, his ways are past finding out. When this archangel was cast out, I told you that his power was not taken. If the Creator take the power of Lucifer, then he stopped to exist. Because being an archangel means power. And by what we have heard, he will eventually be stopped, but not now. That is when his power will be taken. So I told you, when Archangel Lucifer thrown out of heaven, when he was thrown out of heaven, what made him honorable? What made him honorable was removed. In other words, heaven dishonored him. Heaven dishonored him and seized his crown. And then he becomes dishonorable. Why he is now angry now is because he has been dishonored by the Creator that created him. So he is angry with everything. That was why Revelation said, woe to the earth and woe to the inhabitant of the earth. But because they are the accuser of brethren, has been cast down, that accuse brethren night and day. Not just accuse brethren, that accuse them before their Creator. Listen, if by my experience, before I got converted, when I was in the power of darkness, the archangel Lucifer that I know, if he was not dishonored, but his power was not taken. That's why it looks as if Satan is overshadowing everything. And people that are righteous are evil, they are struggling to survive. But let me tell you, the Creator in his wisdom, because he is Alpha and Omega, that simply means he is expert to know the beginning of a thing, and also an expert to know the end of a thing. In that ability, he gave a limitation to Archangel Lucifer, that yes, I have casted you to the earth, but you cannot function beyond this boundary. Just like the sea, as big and massive and terrible as the sea looks, it has its bank. When every sea roar and they get to their bank, when sea roar and they get to their bank, they roll backwards. But I can tell you, as you have heard, 70% of the entire earth is made of water. So, I have also told you so many things that can make it easy for the earth to be destroyed. Plenty things. If the Creator wants to destroy the earth, He will just make it to sink inside the water and everybody drown and die. That's all. Plus the other things I have said, which that is not what we are talking about right now. That you ignorant men, ignorant pastors, ignorant churches, people that know nothing, are running their mouth against winch, against Satan. Now, everywhere, some in their deliverance prayer, some in the orioke, everywhere. It's because the Creator has given Satan boundary. And the Satan himself, being a spiritual authority, cannot defile his boundary, though he has power as an archangel. And I keep repeating, though he has power as an archangel. So that's why people can just do any other thing, anything that nothing is really going to happen, because the Creator, who is an Alpha and Omega, beginning and the end, who is the first authority in the scientific divine spirituality, and have the ability to know everything at the inception and know how everything will end. So he designed everything and wait for their end. And once he designed everything and wait for their end, nothing, I repeat, nothing is allowed to cross their boundary. If you do, you go into extinction. Now, if you read this book of Genesis very well, you'll find out there are so many things in it that may be divided into three or segments. Let me a little bit, briefly for that matter, extract part of this, because this is this sixth dimension consists. It's like the summary of the first day of creation, the second day of creation, the third day of creation, the fourth day of creation, the fifth day of creation, and then sixth day is like the summary of everything. By inspiration and by experience, as you can see, there is none of these segments of creations that I cannot explain in details. If you have my time and I have your time. But we'll try to make things in segments, because there are one or two things we need to attend to too, that is also able to help you. That was why I extracted what I call the forces of the naturals. My friend, apart from The unfortunate thing that has happened to the earth, that the five categories of the witches of the waters that were assigned to be in charge of all the waters. Why it's like they are very powerful was simply that these negative spiritual elements have been present. They have been there when things were being created. Don't forget, they were once an angel of light. We now call them angel of darkness. But I want to tell you, there is no such thing as angel of darkness. But what you should understand is that the angel that like to function in darkness, because darkness is also an entity that can accept, to accommodate anything, including Satan, or reject anything, including Satan. I repeat, darkness is also an entity created by the Creator, and there is nothing bad about darkness. But why darkness look bad is what take cover in it. Why is it like that? That is the nature. It's simply the nature. It has a nature where spiritual things can take cover. Not just spiritual things as we have discovered now. Not just spiritual things, even physical things, including human being. That is why any bad person, they function in the secluded place, they function in the night. That is why witches flies in the night. But now, witches fly in the daytime, because of the complexity of creation. But one thing you cannot remove from Satanism is the function in a secluded place. They function in the secrecy. They don't want you to know how, when, where they will strike you. Either strike you dead or strike you with anything bad. They don't want you to know. But I also want you to know that under divine spirituality, there is nothing in the secret that cannot be revealed. So, it should not bother me or bother us that something can hide either in darkness, because it has a personality of coverage, or something can function from the secret. Because we also have an entity that reveals secrets and deep things. I'm sure you know Psalm 91. He that dwells in the secret place of the Most High. So he also has a secret place. And once he has a secret place, his secret place overshadow and overpower any other secret place. So, in other words, it is the secret place of the Creator you should look for. And after that, every other secret place will be exposed. Can you say every other secret place shall be exposed? Including people that are planning in the secret place, in the far, far village, in the far states, in the far country, to harm your life. no matter the distance, where they are planning to harm your life, under divine spirituality, we can discover their activity in their secret place and dismantle all their practices against you. And if there is anything that is very frustrating to angels, some of these satanic angels, is for their function in the secret place against you to be frustrated. Why? Because it is not easy. It is not also easy for them to access their own secret place too. They have done a lot of hard work and homework to be able to access their own secret place so that they can use it to disturb your life. And now you have used another secret place to discover and to know what they are about to plan and to spoil and to destroy everything that they have planned against you from their own secret place. And that is what the heaven is going to empower you to begin to do from today. Empower you to begin to destroy, render useless all of the things that the agents of Satan are doing against you from their own secret place. Because their own secret place can actually be revealed. Their own secret place can be revealed and it can be exposed. Can you say that? Their own secret place can be revealed and can be exposed. So, as I have told you several times, it's like somebody or one winch or whatever, native doctor who caught, and I say, they want to do anything, they want to do something against me. I laugh. Because if there is nothing that is powerful, and they're powerful enough to be able to pull me out of Satanism, surely I cannot be who I am right now. And you know what? As some of you are my testimonies. I've been who I am for over 30 years, exposing Satan and making a mess of them. How I wish I am allowed to be a noise maker. Of course you know. If I'm a noise maker, the crowd will be too much. As you also know, I'm not looking for crowd. What am I doing? I'm fulfilling my destiny. That's all. So, I speak. You hear me, that's your choice. You don't hear me, it's also your choice. I've spoken sote, I speak Igbo. I speak Igbo. I say, Anamacho passenger. Akwe nanu. Anamacho passenger. Why? I'm fulfilling my destiny. So, I'm not looking for anything. I'm just fulfilling my destiny. That's all. That's all. The things that make some preacher to compromise and they'll be duping people. I already had them when I was unbeliever. So what else? So that is why I don't care. You want to come to Holy Ghost, you come where? If you don't come, I will throw you out. And if you think that I have this mentality of all this or chop passenger at church, you made mistake, my friend. You make mistake. And there are so many erroneous human beings that have come around as you know, and I have dealt with them adequately. And I have not stopped dealing. No. So you that know Degaya for so many years, ask yourself, from the time you know Degaya, 20 years ago, 25 years, has he changed? He has not changed. The guy has remained the same. But some devils came around, they show us their cunningness. And I dealt with them. Because I am an expert in looking for the serpent in the garden. When I find you, I throw you across the fence. Because it is preachers that are hungry, that pamper evil inside the church. Unfortunately, I am not hungry. If you want to learn what will make you to live your life and be peaceful and be comfortable, then you come around. But you conduct yourself. Don't think that you have seen church finish. You have seen pastors finish. You know what they want. That's a mistake. There are prophets that has not bowed to Baal. There are yet prophets that have not bowed the knee to Baal. It is the scripture that told us like that. Hallelujah. Let me show you some in verse 24, the first one that we read, it said, and Elohim said, let the earth bring forth living creature. Okay? 1. After his kind, 1, cattle, 2, creeping things, 3, beasts. 1, cattle, 2, creeping things, 3, beast. Now, every other thing that was mentioned as concerning Genesis chapter 1:24 is just an explanation. Cattle, creeping things, and beast. And if you read that 24 very well, you will find out that he called them out of the earth by spoken word. And that means it is also called creation. He creates them. He made them by the word of his mouth. I mean, just like you are here now as part of the earth, it's like looking outside and he said, let the cattle appear. The angels of creation, they already know what that is. They will tap them to get up from wherever they are located on the ground. And it happens. Creeping things. and then beast. Now, hear me very clearly. We have talked about, and the Elohim said, I want to say it with emphasis so you understand what I am talking about. And the Elohim said, let the earth, did you hear that? He instructed the earth. When we were talking about the creation of the earth, I told you the speed of the earth. That is to say, as you are sitting down here now, the earth is rotating. No, rotation is a wrong language. The earth is spinning. And as I told you that scientifically, when science want to find out, one, the speed at which the earth is spinning, and then with the accurate calculations of physics, they now discover, okay, the earth is spinning. In case there is an intelligent student of science that will say, how can you say the earth is spinning and everywhere is standing still? It's a simple physics. And science said, when something spins without control, without regulation, and the speed maintain the same pace, you won't feel it. And I try to explain the spinning of the earth and how aeroplane fly. The kind of thrust that is generated for a plane to fly. My friend, it's easier to say than imagine. But when you are at 35,000 feet above sea level on aeroplane, and as I told you, very good pilots, they like that. Because by then, every plane has taken his stability. Now, as I also said, it is that time that pilots used to put their plane in what is called autopiloting, and they will go and sleep. But in piloting training, before a pilot will put the plane on autopiloting, he has to lock the cockpit. Because they don't want any passenger to see that no pilot is controlling the plane. My friend, you can see how dynamics human beings are. How dynamics your daughters, your son, your fathers, your brothers, your uncles, who went to the school of piloting, that the plane flew and is right there. If you take tape, you measure where the plane is, down to the top of the sea, 35,000 feet. And he will have the boldness to press autopiloting and then Go and lie down. I don't know. If it were you and you don't have the training, you will have the guts. That is part of the thing that man has conquered. The earth is spinning at the same pace. So you don't feel that it is spinning. And I say also that science say once the earth stops spinning, everything on earth will be destroyed. In other words, the spinning of the earth is what sustains everything on earth. That is the complexity of creation by the Creator, Yahweh Elohim. That's why it's called Elohim, eternal creator. Elohim, eternal creator. The cattle, the creeping things, and the beast. The earth was told to produce them, and they started jumping out of the earth. Not that they were jumping out of the earth, they were breeding. Did you hear after their kind there? They were jumping out after their kind, and as they were jumping out after their kind, they are looking for food after their kind. Because he asked them to come out after their kind. Once they come out after their kind, natural will take its place. They will look for food after their kind. That is why some animals are carnivore. Some animals only eat grass. Some animals only eat fruits. Later we discovered that some animals eat dust, especially snake. Even some birds, there are some amount of stone in the food of every bird. Because it is the stone that the bird eats together with their food. That is what makes them to digest their food. But if you eat stone, you will have appendix. And we will refer you to Iwanyahu. And I will ask him to charge you very well. Don't bother yourself. If Iwanyahu is operating you, if there is no electricity, he will use torch. And you will still wake up. You won't die because he is an expert. Am I talking to somebody? Yes. So bird eat stone or they eat sand together with their food, they won't die. And they will still fly. It's rather help them to digest what they have eaten. But if you eat sand, I say you will have appendix. Many of you have operated appendix before. Some people may not operate appendix until they die. It depends on your immune system. For me, I have not operated appendix before. And you know my age. Don't you know my age? If you don't know my age, and in the next is it 3 months, 4 months, or 3 months and something, you will know my age. Okay. Even most animals, they don't bother themselves when they crack stones with their food. it will not do them anything. They have a system whereby stone go to one side, food go to one side. You know what you do, most of you that are expert in killing chicken. That thing you bring, you use knife. You cut it like this. You see plenty stone inside. That's the ability of the Creator. They carry plenty stones, but they don't die. Until you kill them for fry. Cattle, creeping things, and beasts. By the calculation of science, that for you to know that some people are actually very busy in this world. By the calculations of science. Will you believe that they have counted all the animals on earth? That looks impossible, but well, that is how curious a man or human being could be. That is how curious human being could be. As science says, all animals on earth maybe, give and take, minus the one that have gone into extinction, and I will also try to explain a little bit what do you mean when animals go on extinction. You listen very well. That all the animals on earth, if we have to count them, different species, if we have to count them 1, 2, 3, they are about 8.7 million different kinds of animals. And we have 11 million birds, different species. 11 million birds that flies. These are the creeping things now. So that means animals are part of, that means birds are in the family of creeping things. And then, if we have to, according to science, if we have to count birds, as in numerically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, if we have to count all the birds in their species on earth, it's about 50 million. That if you have to count bird, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Or did I say 50 million? 50 billion. That you count, if you want to count bird numerically in all their species, is 50 billion. But the species, that means different kind of bird that I'm sure in your language you have names for some of those birds. But there are some birds you will see, you will not know their name in your local language, because some of you, your language are not complete. Or even English, there are some things they will discover now, they don't know what to call it. So most time, when things are discovered like that, and they don't know what to call it, they will give it the name of the person that discovered it. I think I had already explained that one. That was why we have the theory of karma, because he was the one that discovered how many kilometers from the end of the earth to the beginning of outer space. He says approximately 100. And according to the law of physics, and he was able to prove it. And then, they don't know what to call it. They call it the theory of karma. But I have gone ahead. I've gone a little ahead of the theory of karma to explain to you what karma will not say. That the theory of karma is actually the covens of the harass. Because that is where the earth ends and where the atmosphere begins, according to physics. So that is to say, there is a gulf between the earth and the beginning of atmosphere. So when you get out from the earth, according to science, you will see yourself in what is called outer space. And when you get to outer space, there will be no more air to breathe. There will be no more air to breathe. So you need some kind of support to breathe. Or you are a spiritual personality, then you can survive in that environment. It's either you're a spiritual personality or you are an astronaut or a scientist that have all the equipment, all the gadgets, then you can survive in outer space. And of course, you know there are a category of atmosphere, which I have also told you. And then I've said something today. The higher you go, the cooler it becomes. So that means when you get to where the Creator is, that place is very, very cold. Is it cold? Chill. Frozen. But nobody feel that anything is cold. The angels don't live their life normal. The chiller an environment is, the less noise becomes. Did you hear what I said? Many of you that have been to a very cold country, when you're in a country that is like -0, very, very cold, sometimes you'll be talking, the person beside you is not even hearing what you're saying. Because the place is cold. So even what you are saying from your mouth, cold has catch it. So your next neighbor is not hearing you. So when you get to heaven, you won't speak with your mouth. When you get there, you will know what you will speak with. Because some of you, if you're allowed to speak with your mouth, you used to run your mouth like a tap that I have spoiled. You speak with something else. But then you will be communicating. As in the realm of the spiritual, no spirit open mouth to speak, but they communicate. Are you aware that animal, they communicate more in sign language than speaking? Because animals don't speak. But when animals scream, he has communicated to some other animal, especially the animal in their species. They can interpret every scream. Okay. 8.7 million animals on earth. Some of them have gone into extinction. And if you have to count them by number, if you have to ask all the animals on earth to take their number, you have approximately, by science, 50 billion. So you can see how big the earth is. Now, human being is just 7 billion. So that means animals are more than human beings on earth. So if you want to know the species of bird that flies in the sky, approximately there are 11 million. And you count them by number, you have 50 billion. And in this category, let me not forget, in this category, I'm still coming to somewhere, in this category, let me not forget, we have incense. Incense. I'm sure you know what incense is. Incense. Science says we have if you count incense by number, so you can see that some human beings are very busy. It's only people in the church that are gossiping up and down. And the idle mind. Do you know what Bible call idle mind? Idle mind. The children of Satan. And some people are actually busy counting insects. And because of that, they become popular. 10 quadrillion. You count them by number. Quadrillion. Many of you don't know what that is. Quadrillion is Q, U, Q as in quality, U as in unlimited. Then I, N as in nation. Then that N as in nation, no. Then T as in tomato. Then I as in international. If you write international, that's your business. Then L, double L. I want you to write quadrillion so that you can get the spelling correctly according to the encyclopedia and the English language of then I, then O, then N, then S. Quadrillions. Q, U, I, N, T, I, L, I, O, N, S. Quadrillion. So if I may explain to you how you write that, just write, I say 10 quadrillion, write 10, 1, 0, hyphen, 18, 0. Did you understand? I'm not talking about speculation. That's what it is. Just when you are writing some of you say you want to be a billionaire, Billy, a Billy. And if you ask to write billionaire, you don't know how to write it. You want to be a billionaire. You don't want to be a millionaire again. You want to be a Billy. Kangwaro no, a Billy. You don't even know how to write 1 billion. So, 10 quadrillion is 1 0 hyphen then 18 0 0 0 0 0. So there is no need for you to write 18 0. Just say 10 hyphen 18 zeros. Otherwise, you will occupy your notes with a 0. And after the quadrillion, of course, you know what we have. The last one, sextillion. I have said sextillion before. Sextillion. When we are trying to talk about the number of angels, the scripture said they are innumerable. Innumerable. So if you say innumerable, it has gone beyond sextillion. Because sextillion is 1, then you write 21 0. That is like end of all counting. Almost like the end of all counting in according to numerical order and then in English language. So 10th quadrillion is 10, then 18, odo. That is how to write 10th sextillion or quadrillion. That is to say, listen very carefully, that is to say 1.4 billion. 1.4 billion insects per one person on earth. That if you want to say, okay, let's some insect follow one human being. The insect that will be following everybody. Science say, United Nations say everybody on earth about 7 billion. Everybody on earth about 7 billion, maybe going to 8 billion. So if you now want to say, okay, let's make some insects follow one person, that 1.4 billion. 1.4 billion insects will be following one person. So if you go to Maiduguri and fly is following you, now only one or two fly. You go to Maiduguri and fly is following you, now only one or two fly you. Or you go to a mosquito is following you, now only one or two mosquito. If a 1.4 follow you, I don't know where you went. That is according to the calculations of science. Because if they say 10 quadrillion is the number of insects on earth, so if you now divide it by the number of human beings on earth, every human being will have 1.4 billion insects following them. Boo! They won't follow you. I said they won't follow you. In case they follow you, go and look for good shelters. Or you look for that thing that they normally use to fumigate. Afu! And if you do that, 1.4 million is going to be a heap like a tipper, so kind of whatever. Okay. Cattle, creeping things, and then beasts. Beasts. Okay. There are some animals among 8.7 million animals on earth. That is, if we have to say, these cattle that were created, don't forget, calculation of science is approximate. So this animal in Genesis chapter 1 verse 24 that was created here, they are more than, you can be sure, they are more than 8.7, because a lot of animals, before scientists begin to discover themselves, so many animals have gone on extinction. Even so many insects has gone on extinction. And now let me speak briefly on that. Many animals, we are in what we may call 24th century right now, many animals right now that have gone on extinction, if by any means, I repeat, if by any means, any active winch, any active, is it native doctor you call them? Any active native doctor is able to have either a horn or a bone or any part of this animal that has gone into extinction. I repeat, any of these animal that is no longer existing on earth, anywhere you look for them, you won't see them again. So that is to say, there are some animals that were created that you will not be able to see between the time they give birth to you and the time you will die. By the time you will get old and die. Because they went into extinction. And some went into extinction as a result of climate change and some other vices. Okay. If any winch, I repeat, these are part of the thing that made witches and native doctors to be powerful. Some of them possess parts of animals that have gone into extinction. And the witch or witches have used this part of animal to prepare charm for empowerment for them. As long as this witch or witch doctor is having this part and all, any part of this animal in his possession, he remains powerful until he dies. Now, if this witch doctor is consulted to do anything against anybody, it will work like a fire. You know why? That the animal that have been used to prepare his power is no longer available on earth. So to be able to nullify that charm of that witch doctor, you need to look for another animal like that to use and nullify it. Otherwise, that you use the spoken word in case you carry active spoken word. Now, to be able to render such witch doctor powerless, you need to know the name of the animal that they use to prepare his power. That is where we now submit to revelation. So, the question we now ask is that how many pastors have such revelation again now? To be able to say, the animal that have gone into a station that they didn't teach you in school, you don't even know what it is. To have the power to acquire the name of that animal, mention that animal, and deliver you from the power of that witch doctor that have that animal parts in his possession, and this witch doctor had been paid to charm you with the parts. But most of them will always possess the horn, the teeth, the bone. And if they are able to lay hand on the horn or the bone, it is the bone of some of those animals they normally use to prepare or for. That is why they hand over offer to person from generation to generation. You that is carrying it in this generation, you may not even know what is inside because they tie it together. It is very important for you to know these things are very effective. When your Father in heaven delivers you, then you are delivered. Otherwise, they are using it to control people. They are not just using it to control people, they are using it to kill people. By my word, they shall not use it to kill you. So you now see the importance of revelation right now, or the importance of knowledge. When a native doctor make a mistake to make me to see him, within 1 second, I don't need 1 minute, within 1 second, I will know the source of his power. And it will not take me 7 minutes to spoil it. I said, once I just see a native doctor like this, because every native doctor paraphernalia themselves. Is that English? Every native doctor dress according to the power that work with them. So you see them white, some red, some black. And when you see anybody using blue or even white, so that means it has something to do with water. But it's red and black. has something to do with destruction, danger, and death. That means he possesses what can kill you, in case he's interested to kill you. By my word, they shall not kill you. I say, by my word, they shall not kill you. Can you say, by my word, they shall not kill me? Can you say, by my word, they shall not kill me? Can you say, by my word, they shall not kill me? Now, what I want to deliver you from today is that many things you suffer in your generation, that is the tribe you are ascended from. Your tribe. Many things you suffer are generational. And every bad thing, including curses that are generational, they are attached to this animal that have gone into a station, knowing fully well that nowhere you will go and you will be helped except the Creator. Because any other native daughter that will help you must look for that same animal to appease the gods before that problem will go. But what about if that animal is no longer existing? Then there's no way. No matter the sacrifice they will ask you to do, there is no way. Because that animal has gone out of existence. That is why it looks as if problem lasts from one generation to one generation to one generation until the generation gets used to problem. There are generations that are already used to a particular problem and there's nothing they can do again. They're already used to it. So everybody expects it. Everybody expects the problem. Everybody expects the problem. Everybody are already used to it. The problem is in people becoming poor and perpetually poor. People just dying anyhow. You know, ladies in the compound not marrying the time they are supposed to marry. Firstborn in the compound just useless. Or anybody that look as if the person is rising to become something before you know he crash. And they keep crashing until the compound become a ghost town. If your compound and the compound of your father has become a ghost town or is like it's trying to become a ghost town, by my word, I reverse the course. You didn't say I'm very well. I say I reverse the course. Sit down. See, I told you a story when I went to Ikuano for crusade. Ikuano is in Abia State. I have seen one or two people that came from Ikuano. And it was the Apostolic Church that invited me for the program. And one of the things I was confronted with, and I told you, was a lady. A lady that every girl die in their compound once they are 25-year-old. So, and they will always be 25-year-old when it is the end of the year. That is every determination good day. Every December, a girl must die in that compound. They die. So it was only this girl that was remaining. And as at the time I went there for this program, she was 25-year-old. She was a member of the Apostolic Church that invited me for this program. And she was in choir. Brethren, I can tell you that when the pastor of the church introduced her to me, you could see fear in the eye of even the pastors. And it was like a joke, as if it's a mint. My friend, a lot of things is happening in this world, though. A lot of things is happening in this world, and I believe one of these days you will come across a lot of things that is happening in this world. Then you will now take your maker seriously. Because a lot of things that is happening in this world that you are not able to understand, and the way you come close to your maker, then you are made. I say something just now. When you come close to your maker, then you are made. You are delivered. I am more particular, and I'm sure since you have been reading the Bible, you never know that something like this can come up, which you have never heard before. It is very important. That's why I'm saying it to you right now. And I want to use it as a medium of deliverance. Because I know what that is. And by my way, you shall be delivered. This lady was to be 25 by the end of the year. I don't know whether it was because of her or it's like they always have their convention that at the end of the year. And they introduced this lady to me and said, man of God, this girl is our member in this church. She is in choir. But let's tell you the story of her life. You see, this girl, she's the only person remaining in their entire family. It's like I didn't get it well. It's like, how do you mean? See, she's the only one remaining. Is that possible? That once they reach, they don't even have boys safe. The one or two boys they have, they are all dead. So there is no room to have a senior brother or whatever. Everybody die, only her remain. And some of them, they escape. They will cover it. When somebody comes to marry them in that compound, they will cover it. They will go and conduct the marriage in another compound. And then the man will marry this person unknowingly. Once she is 25 in her husband's home, she will die there. And it must be end of the year. So end of the year, all of them that are married, they brought their dead body back. You remember this girl? And she was 25. And the time that she was to be 25, well, we are going to be having one of the program. I tried to make them to explain to me because I want to get the story. And they explained to me very well. And ironically or coincidentally, their compound is not far from where the church is located. And I told them, can we go to that compound? And they said yes, they were very happy. I left everything I was doing. Some of those pastors follow me because I want to understand. Still, they were trying to tell me the story. I can't get it. It's very difficult to get it. When I got to the compound, of course, big compound, it was locked. The gate was locked. There's a gate. The compound has a gate. The gate was locked. By the time she now opened the gate. Grave by the right, grave. Grave by the left, grave. And she know the name of everybody in the grave. Do you have other sisters? I said, no, it's only her. And it got to an extent that everybody in that village, anytime she go to market, you see, it got to a time that when she go to market, some will be running from her. Some, anything she buy, they won't allow her to pay. And then, for the brethren in the church, Prayer, 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 prayer. Until the heaven sent a deliverer. So I say, Pastor, are you telling me that this person I'm seeing now will die by the end? I said the end of the year is just about 2 days or 3 days. They say yes. I said during this program, they say yes. I laugh. I said during this program, you say she's a choir in this church. You mean during this program where I am the only one that was invited to preach throughout until next year? They say yes. I say, pastors, you should go and rest. This one is not dying. Hey, come and see pastor. Amen. Amen. Oh, amen. Oh, amen. Oh, they are doing amen. Oh, they are still crying. And they get there, they cry with them. I say, pastor, if this girl died, you say it must be this year, and this year just remain 2 days. Why even say 2 days? It was just 30th. That time when the ghosts have not started. 30th, then 31st, the year is ended. And in some of this program, sometimes I will be preaching from 6 o'clock till 11 in the night. You come and see crowd. People will be there. Nobody will move an inch. But sometimes it's good to go for program in village. Go for program in village. If you see the way they are bombarding me with chicken, egg, chicken, egg, chicken, egg, chicken, egg. No, they stop. Chicken, egg, chicken, egg. They will bring in the morning. They will bring in the afternoon. They will bring in the night. I said, the one you brought in the morning, I have not even. They say no. They add this one. Hallelujah. I said, if this lady died, just know that I am telling lie, that I met the Savior. You mean this one that I'm seeing now will die where I'm here? No, now. No, now. I asked her, I said, has she been singing all this while? They said she's part of the choir. She has been singing. I said, okay. Let's see how it will happen. He said, The whole village, in fact, because of that, almost the whole village are in that program. Because before I came now, they have done advertisement to, they say what I can do and what I cannot do in their poster. And everybody trooped out. Anyhow, they came by faith. Especially because of that girl and this kind of powerful man of God. They say he's coming. They want to know what this powerful man of God will do for this girl that the whole village already know. Have only 2 days. I told them, in fact, when I now got to know about it, I included her in my preaching. In fact, the program was increasing because people know her name. When I started shouting her name on the speaker, the villager heard the name, and the one that are in the house, they were coming out. You know, villagers now, when they are going to crusade, they carry their seat. Everybody carry their seat. Because the seat the church provided, of course, was not enough. Okay. And you know what? They were expecting me to kneel her down, lay hand, twist her neck, roll her on the ground. I didn't do that. The pastor reminded me, say, man of God, don't forget, you have not prayed for her. I said, Pastor, did you hear me say she is not dying. I don't need to say more than that. And I have also said, if she died, then I'm telling lie that I met a savior. If she died, what delivered me from 390 secrets of God is a lie. Let me find out how it will be a lie. This one I'm saying will die. When she has sent me, no, leave that in. Hey, pastor, man of God, hey, wait. Want to ask question. Hey, what is that? Is there any special thing you want her to do this period? I said, special thing? Give her food. Let her eat. She should not fast. I said, fast what? Give her food. Let her eat. You see, just to be eating, give her food. Let her be doing whatever she's doing in church. But for this one to die, no, leave that in. This one will not. This one is not dying. I already know what I will do, what I can do in the realm of the spirit. And what will I do? Just like this. Boom. And that's it. She will not even know what has happened. Man of God, that means, are you saying that she can marry? I said that's her business, so if she want to marry. All I know is that she's not dying. After she's now stay, she's not dying, anybody can marry her. Hey. That means she is the one that will now start the new generation. Do you know something I will not forget from this story I'm telling you? When the year ended and the new year I was supposed to preach, still in that church. That one now is morning service. It's supposed to be ministers' conference, but it turned out to be crusade. The people that came for the program, they refused to go. When they announced, tomorrow is a minister conference, everybody came. They said, we are minister. Are you a minister? I said, I'm a minister too now. I'm a minister. As long as this man is here, I'm a minister. It was supposed to be a minister's program. The place jam-packed with the villagers. That they never said this kind of thing before. You know what I was told? By 1st of the new year, for the first time, this lady talked. She spoke to me because she was just looking at us like this. You know the talking. She said she has something to say if I will agree. I said, okay, what is that? That is the first time this has ever happened from the time she was born, when she was growing up. She always witnessed that they will lose somebody by the end of the year, and all of them must be 25 years. See, there's a lot of things in this life. Oh, I can tell you that. She said, if you can only grant me this request. I said, what is that? Can you come and take that compound that is full of graves? I laugh. I say, Auntie, no. That is your father's compound. It is not for me. But I have launched you ahead to open another generation for your father. You will marry. You will have children. And by my proclamation, all the children you'll be having will be boy until you are tired. The guy broke down. The guy broke down. I cry. What do I have? What will I give this man? What can I give this man? Take this compound. I said, I don't want. It's your father's compound. After a long time, the pastor of that church met me somewhere in a program. I don't know him again. He ran. Come and met me. Oh, man of God. Oh, man of God. I was just looking at him. Because we have met a lot of people in my life. I have met so many human beings. So many people I'm not going to remember. He now told me this story. I said, yes, I remember. He said, just as you said, that lady has married. And it was 7 years after that. He said, now, he has boy. He said, if I see you, I should ask you one thing. I said, what is that? He said that the children are too much. The children are too much. Is that boy? Is that should that want to have girl? He want to come and see me with her husband. I say it's not necessary. Tell them to go to church, enjoy their life with their Creator. I have done my part. See, I have to tell you this story because of what I'm telling you right now. There are generations that they have used. You have never heard this before. You are hearing for the first time that parts of animals that have gone into extinction, that nobody